Hello, thank you for joining RasPipKr tutorials. I'm Martin Parker, and in this video I'm going to be continuing with my home heating and security graphical user interface. So let's get the script up and running as to where we currently are. Bring that up. Full screen, and let's run it. Now I did try and do this video earlier today, about 1 o'clock or so, but it was just too hot, and I was in my car whilst I was down south in Redditch in the UK, but like I say, it was just too hot and I just couldn't do it. As you can see here, the temperature in this room is quite hot as it is now. So yes, I've only just powered my Pi up, so as you can see the temperature's increasing now, but the temperatures are slightly away from the actual Pi. So anyhow, so that is the temperature side. What I'm going to work on in this video is when I trigger a relay. So I've got a jumper wire connected on pin 39, which is the ground pin. If I short that onto pin 40, you hear the relay click, but you don't see anything visual in the security menu. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put something into there. Now if I release this short that I've done, you'll hear the relay click straight away. There, it's disengaged. I want to set a timer into there, and I want to have potential of having individual timers for my 4 zones. So let's bring up our house settings file. So in here I've got the zones, so I've got the defaults there, and what I want to do here is I want to have excuse me, so I want to have my zone 1 timer as a set value. So let's go for, we'll go for 20 seconds on the first one, and on zone 2 Z2 timer for that, well, we'll go for 15 on that one. On the next one down, Z3 timer, we'll go for 10. And then the last one, zone 4, we shall have, can you guess what it is? Yeah, 5. So I've got my times there. So in my main script, I'm just going to implement them into the threads that actually control the units. So everything's been imported at the very top of the file from my house settings, so everything's ready when I run it. So all I need to do here is set it to time.sleep, and that will be Z1 timer, and the same for these other ones. So time.sleep Z2 timer, and the next one, zone 3, time.sleep Z3 timer, and last one, zone 4, time.sleep Z4 timer. Right, so there's our timers put into place. Whilst we've just done that, let's just do a quick test. So first of all, I'm going to, let's bring it on. Let's bring on the webcam so you can see what's going on as I'm doing it. Just moving over. Somewhere about there or so. That'll do. Right, let's position the camera so you can see the zones. Just move that out of the way. there to just moving my two temperature sensors out of the way. So here you can see the four zone lights for zone 1, 2, 3 and 4. And here I've got a jumper wire which I'm going to just touch onto the BCM pins. So pin 40, which is BCM 21. So I've touched it on, I've removed it, but the light's still on. So we'll go for the next one, and the next one, and we'll go for the following one. There we go, we've got all 4 on, and they should go off roughly about the same sort of time. And we seem to have some red writing in the background, so something's not right, but I'm not going to worry about that for a moment. Or maybe I should. Yep, they should have gone off by now, so let's have a look to see what the problem is. Not defined. Oh, what have I done? I haven't. As you can see there's a star, and that's because I haven't saved that silly mistake. Never mind, let's try that all again, shall we? Yep, everything's just been cleared. Because I've got that red writing, I'm just going to clear that off and have a fresh Python shell running. Right, let's get my camera back in view. Right, just like I said before, hopefully this time I do it right. I'm going to short onto BCM 21, BCM whatever it is, and then the next one, can't remember the numbers, 16, 12 and something else, something like that. There's one gone off. That was 5 seconds, that was 10 seconds, that one's 15, and this one 20 seconds. So thumbs up, everything's working there. Awesome. Right, let's just get rid of his camera for a bit. We don't necessarily need that now, so I'll just move that back out of the way. Right, so we've got our timers working. So when it comes to actually having this running, I will have that set for so many minutes or seconds, whichever, but I have the ability to have their own settings in my house settings file. So now what I want to do is I want to, when the security menu's on, I want to change this slightly. So how can I do that? Now previously, off camera, I know I've done video for creating these buttons, but rather than doing it again, I've created another button which is orange in colour, but it says Zone 1 front triggered. So I'm gonna get my button to display that. So in my house settings, I'm going to add some information in here, some variables, and then basically just like they are here, I'm going to have the trigger buttons. I could put it into the list so it works from the list, but in the main script, if I scroll down to there, when you click on the actual Zone 1 button, it cycles through the default value, which it's working as an index. So as default, it's set for 1, so they are all in the auto mode. There's one there, and one there. Now when you press the button, it increments the default plus 1, so that means it's gone to 2, and because 2 would be, well, this one, Zone 1 button on, and then if you press it again, it will match up the number of the length of this list. So that is, although it's index 0, it's actually the first one. So that's 1, 2 and 3. So when it's checking here if it matches the length, so how many items are actually in that list, then it defers back to 0. So I could maybe put it into the list, but I'm going to keep it separate for now. If I can't do it this way, then I may try it into the list, but I'm pretty sure I can get it working the way I want to do it. So in here I'm going to have Z1 trig, okay, for Z1 trigger, and this is Z1 zone 1 underscore trig underscore btn.png. Okay, so I've got the same ones for these other ones, so we'll do the same here. Zone 2 trig, Z2 underscore trig underscore btn.png, and same here for zone 3, Z3, oops, Z3 underscore trig underscore btn.png, Z4 trig, Z4 underscore trig underscore btn.png. Right, so I've got my buttons in place. So what I want to do here is when you actually click on here, I'm going to try and change, sorry, not here, my threads. So when the thread sensor picks up movement, I'm going to try and set the change the button to be the trigger button. But what I want to do is I'm going to grab the information for that first. I'm just going to copy that and put it into here. So in here I'm going to do a try. I think that'll be the best. Let's just stick it in. So we shall do the button first. So I'm just going to paste that in and bring that into a line. So we want to have zone 1 image to be the zone 1 trig that we've created in our My House settings. And whilst I'm on this, I'm just going to save that, Control and S, so I don't have the same problems I did in the previous run. So I'm setting it there to be that. I'm doing the configure. Awesome. So that should do that one. So I'm just going to do the same for these other ones. So whoops, I don't want to print anything out, I pressed the wrong button. So this would be zone 2, and that wants to be zone 2, that wants to be 2 trig, so that's all good. Rather than faffing around too much, let's just copy a 1 and paste that there so everything's there, and change the 2 to a 3. This one here, and down here let's do the zone 4 as well. Right, so they're set. Let's run that. Bring up the security menu and let's trigger zone 1. there we go, we've got our button showing as triggered. So that's pretty good. So I'm just going to let that time out. Right, the relay has just clicked off, but the button still stayed in that. It's gone back to there because I've come out of that menu. You see that's set to 30 seconds and it'll go back to the screensaver. So if I do that straight away, so it's gone on, just got to wait 20 seconds now. Right, the relay is just triggered off, or disengaged, I should say, and it's still got the orange button showing. So in the else part, what I need to do is I need to set it back to the original state, so that it will go back to the auto mode. So in the PIR thread, I want to but that's going to be there, and if that's triggered into that, so it wants to go into this else part. So let's just pop that in there and paste that there. So this is obviously zone 1, and in this part here, I'm not going to have it set for the trigger, so I need to put zone. I can't remember the what's the list? Zone 1 buttons list. Yeah. So zone 1 buttons list, and then we want the zone 1 default to be in there. So that should put it back to the mode setting. So let's try that one. As soon as it pops on, oh, zone 1 button not defined. That is because, right, yes, this thread is getting run straight away down at the very bottom of this script, so here basically. So if I scroll back up, here, so it's starting the thread, but what's happening is it's waiting, well, it's checking that the default is 1, which by all counts it is, it's there, and because that is true, it's trying to do this information here. So rather than it being there, why I shouldn't really put it there, should I? Let's cut that out of there and put that at the end of there and put that there. Right, try that. It should go back to its original state. I've not got it on view. Silly me. So it's on. Just give it its 20 seconds. Awesome. Right, so that's working okay. So what I want to do is in the other zones, so, the other threads, sorry, I want to do exactly the same, but have the default put back in. Let's not be lazy, let's write it in here. So zone 2 img equals tk dot photo image, and this is a file that we're playing with, and it wants to be the zone 2 buttons list, and we're working with zone 2 default. And then zone 2 button dot config. The image is going to be z2img. Third one, z3img equals tk.photo image, and this is a file. Nope. Z. We're on zone 3, aren't we? Yes. Zone 3 buttons list. Z3 default. Z3 button dot config. So we're actually setting the actual button to display the image. So image equals z3 img, and the last one, z4 equals tk dot photo image, this file, and it's z4 buttons list, z4 default, z4 button dot configuration, image z4 img. I think I've done that correct. Oh yes, let's try that, and let's get trigger happy with this ground link. Oops, I brought it along again. That's right, so we'll go with zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, and zone... I've got wires in where? Where are you? Can't trigger a one. One, two, three. Ground. Oh, we got an issue on that one. So, what's the problem? What's the problem? Zone 4 button dot config. Sure that's right. Did it go back to the normal screen? No, that's the third one. That next one is ground. Can't trigger that one for some reason. That's a little bit annoying, isn't it? Is it something I've made a mistake? Zone 4 trigger. Well, that should all be correct. Oh dear, what a wally. Probably you spotted that, obviously I didn't. So never mind. That's the beauty of doing stuff on the fly. Nope, still got a problem. Zone 4 button is not defined. It should be a global, so let's just make sure it is a global in the security menu. Zone 4 image, zone 4 button. So why won't you change? Let's watch the screens. 1, 2, 3. Nope. Zone 4 is just not having it. Did I not put it as image? Well, that's weird. That is weird. Zone 4 timer, zone 4. Dog needs to go out. Back in a second. Right, I'm back. Dog's outside. What is the problem with it? Line 119. Alt G 119. No, it's this particular line here. So that's the one that's zone 4 trigger. So that's weird. Surely everything's fine there. If you can see this before I figure out what's going on, please feel free to leave a comment in the description, in the comment section, because everything there looks exactly the same as there. It's just that it's zone 3 instead of zone 4. So that is very strange, unless I'm completely missing something. Image, 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 Z4 image, Z4 image, tk.photo image. Z4 trig, Z4 timer, Z4 image, Z4 buttons list, Z4 default. Yeah, everything there looks to be okay, so why won't it work? Ain't that annoying? All I've done is add that, so why is that bit causing the issue? Let's just comment that out and try it. Yep. Well, I know the issue is this bit here. Zone 4 trig. Is it the naming of the button that's an issue? Where are we? We're on desktop. Zone 4 trig button.png. The button is there, it is alive, so why can't I access it? That's weird. There's no star there, so there shouldn't be an issue with that. That's unbelievable. I just commented it out and let's try that. Yeah, I can trigger it. I've not got it on screen. Silly boy. See, it's just tried to put it back into position. So let's uncomment that and let's try zone 3 trigger. Let's see if we actually get something from that. And that would prove, well, narrow it down to something, I guess. So it is something to do with my file, which is very strange. So let's pull that back to zone 4. Z4 trig button. That looks absolutely perfectly fine. Z4 trig. There's no weird spacing going on, so Hmm. So it's the .config issue. That's weird. Z4 button dot config image equals Z4 img. Wants to come in now. Oh, hello. How weird was that? Surely I wrote exactly the same as what it was. I'll have to check back on my recording, but I'm sure that's what I had. How strange. Oh well, it's working. Let me just let the dog back in. Wow, that was very strange. I'm certain I had the same text as what I just entered. Just in case there was an issue, let's just go through all of them. Yep, they're all there. That were only 5 seconds, that was 10, so it should go out in a couple more seconds. Abracadabra. And awesome. So we've got a visual representation. Excuse me. We've got a visual representation that the sensors are being triggered. Whilst it's not on and it's in the screensaver mode, I'm getting an error, and that is because my button is not actually created. So it will work as long as if this screen is on, and I see the screen's on and my script has caused an issue, so that won't come on now. So what I am going to do is I'm going to set a try and accept. So if it is on the screen, it will do it. If not, then don't do it. Okay, so let's just give that a quick whirl. We'll do it with zone 1 first. Make sure it works with 1, and then we'll start adding it into all the others. Try. So all of this needs to shift over a smidge, and in here we want to have our exception. And looking at our error, I'm not sure if that will actually take as the error. But we can try it. and then we'll just pass on that. So it just prints out to the shell. So we'll give that a try and see if we get it to work. Nope, still not getting it. So what I might have to do is, instead of that, just have it as a full accept to see if that will work. Error. So it is accounting for the error. Now I want it to actually be able to do the timer. So I need to actually, yeah. So that's not really helping. I've got it. Right, so when it is in the, let's go to the security menu. That's the heating, security menu. Now what I'm doing here is I'm setting it to a menu screen. So menu screen is there, but menu screen is for also for the heating menu. So if you are in the heating menu, as in here, it will try and do it, and it'll cause an error again, I guess. So that's not going to help. That's something to think about. Wow, it's warm in here. Name error. I could easily use name error, but that's not the fault that I'm actually having. That was a different fault. If I put the try part after it's done, no, it's not going to give anything. So I need to check if it's on the yeah, we'll do it that way. So in the settings menu, security menu even, I want to have a little extra information, so I'm going to put it as a global so I can check it in the other function. So I'm going to have this called that's menu screen. The menu screen is actually for the screensaver, really. So it's to do with the actual the timer, basically, both of them two. So I'm going to call this sec for security menu. Yeah, let's call it sec security menu. And we are going to, we'll do it in down here. Sec menu equals true, because we are in the security menu. And if we're in the other menu, back image, yeah, that's getting a little long. Sec menu, let's drop them down onto the next line. Oops. Global. Right, so they're there. I'm going to have it in here as well, aren't I? So it's checking sec menu. So I've got that there. I need to tell it that it's in this menu. Sec menu equals false. I need to tell it in here. Sec menu equals false. So that's sorted. That's sorted. That is sorted. Right, back up here. In here, I'm going to I don't need to try because I'm not going to have that issue. So I'll just get rid of all that and that. But what I want to do is let's just move that over. So I want to put that into. I'm going to have two out. If that equals that, then do that and that. Because I want to have the button change and do that. And then go back. Yeah, I'm going to have an if and an else statement in here. Yeah, mind. So if sec menu, if I can spell it, so if it's true, then do all of that. Else, if it's not that, then I want to just do that. So I'm going to copy that and chuck it in there. So that should sort it out so we don't get that error. So I'm not going to go into it. There we go, we've got our timer running. Ignore that because that's from the previous run. But if we go into the security menu, it's going to actually show us that. So that is the next issue, which I may do in the next video. So let's implement the if statements into these other threads. So if sec menu, so let's put that there and shift that over. Last one. Right, so there we go. So that should make all our timers run. This video is getting on a little bit now, so in the next video, there we go, all our 4 timers are running. what I'll sort out in the next video is a way that when you go into the security menu it will bring this information, well, show the correct status rather than saying that it's still in the auto mode. Okay, so that'll do for this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.